Affirming next hard point. Stand by.
Dusted him.
Moving this way.
Hard point
Drop their
relocating.
sniper.
Stand by. Compromised.
Dusted him.
The Guardian found.
Taking round.
Relocated. Secure the target area.
Swapping.
Friendly UAV online. Hard point relocating. Stand by.
Swapping mags.
Hard point relocated. Secure the target area.
Fire.
Oh my gosh, bro. Once you're back in another video. In today's video, man, we're going to be going over some things and my opinions on Modern Warfare 3 as it stands right now. And I want to break down how Call of Duty actually fucking works, because obviously this community doesn't know anything. And they're completely stupid. And this is coming from just Twitter and Facebook, as well as watching some YouTube videos. It's obvious this community does not comprehend the problems in Call of Duty, and what they believe is the benefit is actually the negatives, and the negatives they believe are negatives are actually the best, you know. So in the background, you can see some gameplay, over about 20 minutes or so of gameplay, and you're going to see lots of interesting deaths and lots of interesting kills, and I want you to take note on how long it's taking me to kill people, the amount of bullets it's taking me to kill people. I want you to keep track of that as we go through the video, and you will see for yourself exactly what I'm talking about. And some of these gunfights you'll see me lose are also going to show exactly what I'm talking about and the problem with having the TTK in this game that it is. So let's start back where this generation began. So Black Ops 4 came out, and when that came out, it was 150 HP. This is the first time in Call of Duty history that we have had more than 100 HP. Unknowns to popular belief, Call of Duty has had the same time to kill in every single Call of Duty up till Black Ops 4. The difference is, and I'm going to break down how TTK works here in a second, but the difference is the guns are different. They had different damage outputs, they killed in different times, so the actual time to kill didn't change, it was just the physical guns time to kill. So some guns have a faster time to kill than others, but every COD in general has a standard TTK, which is 100 health, which is on average 4 to 5 shots. That is the normal amount of HP. But let's get into how bo4 changed the way, at least I look at Call of Duty. So TTK in Black Ops 4 is 150 HP, and people don't know this, or even the people that have like 1,000 hours in the game or 4,000 hours in the game seem to be completely clueless, and they think they understand how Black Ops 4 works, but they do not. And some of my friends are those people. They believe they understand Black Ops 4, they do not. Black Ops 4 had one of the longest time to kills in COD history. Some guns required up to 6 shots to kill somebody. If you don't believe me, go back and look. Go back and look. When you empty a gun into somebody to shoot the character, you will take notice that you are not losing only 4 bullets to 5 bullets per mag. You are losing upwards to 6 rounds, especially if you're hitting body shots. Now, I think 150 health is okay if done correctly, and we'll get into that in a second. But let's flash forward to Modern Warfare 2019, back to 100 health. Modern Warfare 19 brought in the most cancerous movement system mechanics in history of Call of Duty. No, I hate to break it to y'all, slide canceling and bunny hopping were not always in Call of Duty. I hate to be that guy, but they were not, okay? You can simply see this by going back and playing the old CODs right now to this day. You will not be able to slide cancel as much as you can. Actually, Modern Warfare 2's 2023's, which is the newest Modern Warfare 2 game, besides mw3 obviously, is actually very, if not the exact same movement mechanics as old COD. There is sliding, there is jumping, but it is nothing as it is in mw3 and /2019. And I call these the cancer trios, because 2019, Vanguard, and Cold War all had the same issues. For them, pretty much the same anyway. So Modern Warfare 2019 also not only introduced the most cancer movement mechanics, but it also introduced one of the most cancerous features in Call of Duty history, skill-based matchmaking. Now, it is correct that skill-based matchmaking has always been in COD. It has always been in the ranked modes. It has always been somewhat in the multiplayer. Usually it's like very, very minuscule. But for 2019 and up, they turned the notch completely to 100, causing just the overall experience to be toxic as all can be. And most of you, I think, would agree with me that SBMM is a serious problem in Call of Duty that needs to be rectified. It's not even to the point anymore where people are like, oh, you just get used to it. Just get used to it. No, you shouldn't get used to something that is detrimentally bad for the game. You don't just get used to drug users, right? Or drugs. I should say drug users is not a really good term. It's drugs. You don't get used to drugs. You try to figure ways to stop drug use as a whole, right? Same problem. This is a drug pandemic in Call of Duty, the SBMM, and it needs to be rectified, not dealt with, okay? There's no way around it. It needs to go. Period. It should not be in the pub side of Call of Duty. If I want to sweat my ass off 24/7 against cheating, camping little bitches, then I'll play ranked play. It's pretty simple. Anyway, 2019 came out. Not a fan of it. I think MW 2019 is actually the worst Call of Duty ever made, and there is nothing positive that comes out of it. Warzone was a disaster, in my opinion. It caused multiplayer to not only lose fans, but it also killed the entire experience of playing Call of Duty the way it was meant to be played, which is an arcade shooter. Modern 2019 began the process of 70 to 80 level weapons, 1,000 camo grind. Like, it's just not a good experience. Most of the MW 2019 maps are dog shit. I don't care what anyone says. You think they're good because you are cock-sucking M2019. This entire video is going to pretty much tell you if you are a dick sucker to 2019 or not. That's pretty much this video in a nutshell. It's gonna expose you as either a dick sucker on that game, a dick rider, or someone who actually has a brain and can see things with their own brain. And this video is supposed to be kind of a dicky video. That is the point. So if you're thinking that Dallas is being a little dicky, that's kind of the point of this video, by the way. So next COD on the list is Cold War. Cold War dropped, and Cold War is, I would argue, the better of the three of that year, of those 3 years. Especially Zombies was better. The story was all right. I will say 2019's had a really good story in comparison to everything else it had. Now, Cold War had, again, the same problems. SBMM, slide canceling, jumping, Warzone, same problems. Vanguard, again, same problems, but I feel like Vanguard's multiplayer was bad because the TTK was good, but their guns were not balanced for the TTK. And I'm going to say this right now, again, this game MW3 is falling into the same trap. And this is a Sledgehammer thing. The only games they've ever released that didn't have any problems with TTK was Advanced Warfare and MW3, and they co-developed with Infinity Ward, the original one. But everything after Advanced Warfare from Sledgehammer games has always had that issue. It's like they don't know how to balance their TTKs and their guns. It's a small problem. They could fix it if they just took the time to actually admit that it's a problem. And then we had Modern Warfare 2 by our amazing Infinity Ward. A lot of people have been hating on Infinity Ward because of the removement of the movement mechanics that we had in the last 3. And I think to those people who are harassing Infinity Ward on Twitter, you are the scum of the earth. You are not good at the game. Let's be honest. You are not good. Okay? Movement kings are the exact same people who got shit on in MW2 by people like me, who had actual gun skill. It's pretty remarkable to see the difference. And we're going to go into this in a minute and why I believe you can see the difference if you go back to MW2 now after playing the MW3 beta. But MW2 had removed pretty much all the slide canceling. They had slowed down buddy hopping. It's still a problem, but I think it's a manageable problem now. And their guns were balanced for the TTK. Now, this is where things get weird, because the TTK in MW2 is actually perfect, in my opinion. It's perfect. The body should not take more than 3 to 4 shots. I think that's an appropriate amount of rounds an appropriate amount of damage to be outputting for your guns. And most guns can average around 3 to 4 shots, which means their guns are balanced. See, people don't understand balancing. Balancing isn't just making a good gun bad and a bad gun good. Balancing is making a good gun good and a bad gun bad, right? You have to make them the same tier level. You can't adjust one, because if you adjust one, you hurt the others. If you adjust the others, you hurt one. Okay? You have to balance both of them. That is the problem with the SCAR. The SCAR is the biggest problem right now in Modern Warfare 2, because unlike every other gun who's on the same playing field, the SCAR is the one gun that is not in the same playing field. It's way above the others. And there is problems with that, but not as severely as mw3's problems. And just a side note, I did pre-order the Vault Edition mw3. I do plan to grind camos, but I'm also capable of having a brain and having a way of breaking down the problems when they're there. Now, mw2 had one huge problem in its TTK, and a lot of people think that the whole TTK is broken because of this simple difference: headshot multiplayer. The reason TTK feels so fast in mw2 is not because the body damage is high, but because the headshot damage is high. Majority of gunfights you're losing on mw2, and why you feel like you're dying so quickly, is because when you shoot them, they're flinching, hitting the head, and insta-killing. It's happened to me many times for me getting the kill that way or dying that way. It's a very big problem, and all they had to do to fix this issue was simply increase the amount of health the headshot is. And instead of making it an insta-kill, make it take a shot or two, okay? Like, some guns should one-shot headshot, absolutely. But some guns were just doing insanely high amounts of damage, and it was just insane. That was the biggest problem with mw2. Now we switch over to the next COD, the final COD on our list, Modern Warfare 3. What is wrong with Modern Warfare 3, LS? You may be asking. This game is great, man. It's a W. What are you talking about? Well, it is good. Okay, the core mechanics are great. I like the feel of the game. I like the guns, the way they look anyway, and the way they feel. But one, we got slide canceling back, and it's going to be another year of people who think they're skilled by slide canceling. So that's kind of cringe. But there's another problem. One, it's a beta, so I'm taking this into account. Okay, so things could be different from the full game. So everything I'm saying here for mw3, you can take it with a slight grain of salt. But that 150 HP is back. And that is a problem, because it should never have been that high in the first place. mw3 should have went with a medium ground between mw2's and the past Call of Duty's health systems and the Black Ops 4 style of health. It should have been around 100, 120, 130 health. It should have been the medium. It should have been right in the middle. And yes, you can do that. To people online saying, "Oh, well, that would fuck up the bullets damage," it wouldn't. Because, I'm going to explain it right now, but it wouldn't affect it. Because how TTK works, right, is it's not necessarily set to each gun. So when they make a game, for Call of Duty, for example, the TTK is based in the game. When they build the fundamentals of the multiplayer, the damage output that you're able to take, the health you have, is pre-programmed automatically. Okay, that is in the fundamentals of the game. Okay, when the game launches, every COD other than bo4 and now this mw3 have launched with 100 health. Okay, hardcore is usually half that, so it's usually 50 to 30 depending on the game. Some games do 30 health for hardcore, some games do 50. I think it just depends on the studio. I think Infinity Ward does 30. But that 100 health doesn't fluctuate. Okay, your 100 health will always stay the same. What fluctuates is there's almost two separate TTKs. There's health TTK, your standard TTK, and there's weapon TTK. And each weapon has its own time to kill. Which is why when you're in the game, you have battle rifles that kill maybe quicker or slower, and you have assault rifles that kill quicker or slower, and snipers and so on and so forth, right? They're killing at different rates. SMGs take more bullets at farther ranges. That's not the TTK itself affecting it. That's the weapon TTK. That's how much the weapon's damage is outputting. And this is where the problem arises. That's a better word. mw3's weapons don't feel like they're hitting nearly strong enough to make the TTK feel smooth. The people that are out here saying that the TTK feels fine have obviously never played other Call of Duty, or they're just admitting it plays better because they like the movement and they don't want to seem complaining. I, on the other hand, am going to speak the truth and nothing but the truth, baby. The TTK is a problem. For one, the SMGs barely keep up with everything else in the game. The UMP is good. I know I kind of spoke some trash about it the other day when I was first playing the beta, but as I've gotten maxed it out now, it's not too bad. But the Scorpion, which you see in this gameplay behind me right now, dog shit. Absolute dog shit. It is so behind the other SMGs. The AMR9, pretty decent, still way behind the other SMGs. The assault rifle category, now I did want the ACR to be overpowered, but I don't feel like the ACR is that good. I feel it's kind of weak. And then that could just be mobility issues though, because the ACR feels really sticky to use. The rest of the ARs are kind of mid. The battle rifles are dog shit. The LMG is absolute dog shit. The shotguns, they either are the worst shotgun ever or they're the best shotgun ever, because there's only two shotguns, so one's good, one's not. The one shotgun has almost instantaneous chambering speed. There is the sniper category, which doesn't even look like snipers, but somehow is one-shotting everything. You got, which is fine, but like in the grand scheme of things, that's a problem if you look at it from that perspective. The pistols are mediocre at best. The Renetti is dog shit. The machine Uzi pistol, whatever it is mid-tier at best. I mean, it's good for feeds up close, but that's about it. So it kind of ruins the whole point of running a secondary SMG. So there's so many issues with the TTK. And how do you fix this? Well, it's pretty simple. Reduce your center health to a range at which these guns feel smooth again. So I would recommend reducing it down to 135. I think 135 health would make it that these guns do not feel like bullet sponges. So people say they don't feel like bullet sponges, fight somebody that has full HP and you have full HP. Okay? And you will see what I mean. Okay, these guns have so little damage output compared to your health. Except if you're running 5 attachments. But again, even mw2, for example, you can run as many attachments as you want or as little attachments as you want, and the gun still feels good to use, unlike this game. But yeah, reducing that damage and then health to 135, maybe 130, would fix a lot of the issues. It would make the game feel a little bit quicker for us competitive guys who want to get quad feeds, get nuclears, get fast nuclears, and who don't want to have to run a 60-round magazine to get a quad feed. I shouldn't have to run a 60-round magazine to get a quad feed. I should be able to run a 30 or 45 rounder and get a quad feed without being completely out of ammo by the end of the quad feed. Shouldn't be a thing. And people say hit your shots. I do hit my shots. It doesn't make a difference if you hit your shots or not. But that's my rant, man. Reduce that health, fix it, take out SBMM, and this game will be fine. Fix your TTK and fix your SBMM situation, and we'll be fine. There's no way that this game is going to launch with this SBMM. Like, the SBMM right now in the game is horrific. I mean, horrific. I've got nonstop cheaters in my lobbies and nonstop campers, and like it's just insane. It's just mental. This is how the game is made, right? Especially since this game had such hype going behind it. I'm just concerned that it's going to turn into another 2019 where everyone that plays the game is either going to be sweaty as fuck and thinks the game is amazing, or people like me are just not going to get to enjoy it because we're not going to play it, and we're going to lose out on an awesome experience because we're not going to take the bullshit. But let me know your comments down below. Let me hear what you guys are thinking, because for me, I've been playing COD for a long time, almost 14, 15 years now, thousands of hours and almost every COD, and I can sense issues before many people can, especially in the beta. The first match in the beta, I already felt the differences. And going back to mw2, I have played a little bit of MW last night, and that game feels so much better. And that could just because it's a full game, this is a beta, that's perfectly acceptable. That could possibly be a thing. But that game's time to kill feels so much better than the others. It feels responsive, and when you push a squad of enemy players, if they're bad at the game, you can wipe them. Unlike this game, because if you push a squad, a team of 3 or 4 on the enemies, and say in a building, you are not beating all of them, even if they're dog shit, because you don't have enough ammo, and eventually one of them are going to land enough shots to kill you. That's just not a possibility. The YouTubers you're seeing doing this are obviously in some paid lobbies or something, because I don't know, I put a lot of over 40 hours in the game already, almost in the beta. I was at 960 hours of the almost at 990 almost on mw2 now because of this game. And I have never once had a situation where I completely wiped the enemy team without struggling. Even in a couple of clips in the beginning, I kind of was struggling there for a little bit because of the ammo capacity. But yeah, so I think that there's a lot of pros of this game, but I also think there's a lot of benefits. And I am going to have a full breakdown of the game with the drops, of all the benefits and all the negatives of the game. But without further ado, man, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys found this somewhat interesting. If you guys have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it down below. We may not agree, but I'm always down to hear what you guys are thinking. But with that being said, man, I love you guys. You're one of a kind. You're beautiful. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.